electrical and datacom needs.
Billy can win! Billy can win!
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
All right, thanks very much. Drew Young is our producer. Tom Ackerman back in for this Sunday. Was not here last Sunday, taking care of an assignment for Bally Sports Midwest. That was a lot of fun, and I appreciate everybody's kindness on that one. You know, that I described to friends and family as surreal, yet comfortable and felt good. And that sort of made it surreal, if that makes sense. You know, it was like I stepped into a dream and then I felt really good in it. So I just kept doing it. And thanks to an amazing staff. I mean, I talked about this earlier this morning with Scott Jaga when he asked me about it, but the staff at Bally Sports West is really top notch. I mean, there's a reason why it's the highest rated telecast in Major League Baseball. From Tom Mee, the director, to Nick Thompson, the technical director, Brian Shapiro, the producer, who I worked with in college basketball, is one of the great up and coming. I mean, not up and coming anymore. Now he's one of the best producers, and Tom is a legend, and Nick is outstanding at what he does, and just the whole crew. You know, everybody up in the booth and in the truck. Is a huge team that puts that together. Jim Edmonds is so good at what he does. And, you know, Jim is not a broadcaster. He is a Cardinals Hall of Famer. He's a baseball man who became a broadcaster through hard work. And I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you right now, Jim Edmonds works extremely hard at what he does. And I thought that was very impressive to be around him, and his knowledge of baseball is just off the charts. I mean, off the charts. What he sees, it reminds me of Mike Shannon, how he would see things before they happen, how he would call things out before they happen. He would tell me on the air, off the air. I mean, it is unbelievable what he does. But he's also just a great teammate. And so that made things very comfortable as well. And I appreciate Jim a whole lot. Jim Hayes as well. You know, Jim is really, really good at what he does as well as a sideline reporter. So very nice team over there. I just appreciate them very much. Most of all, you know, I thought about family and thought about my dad a lot, and thought about my mom. And my mom was in attendance for the Friday and Sunday games, along with my wife and kids. And they all play a huge part in a career step like that. But I really today wanted to say something about my mom being a huge factor in everything that I do, you know, from the very, very beginning. And then, you know, when I lost my dad, when I was just about to turn 18, my mom became not only the head of the household, but took on a lot, including raising me through college. At that point, I had graduated from high school, but there's still some raising to be done. I mean, I'm just about to turn 18, and, you know, she really guided me on how to manifest what you want, and to continue to take the next step, and to believe in yourself, and to have clarity all along the way. And there are a lot of things that moms do. The best thing that they do is guide you along the way. And she continues to do that. You know, I mean, I'm 47 years old. I'm going to be 48 this summer, but she has continued to create a path for me as a dad, and as a husband, as a broadcaster, as a friend to my friends. So moms are incredibly important. And I wish a very, very happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. What you do for your kids and for your family, it cannot be put into words properly. I hope I'm doing it right, because moms do so much. And I know they get thanks, but there's a lot of things that they do that don't get noticed sometimes. They just go and do it, you know, and we love our moms so, so much. And happy Mother's Day to all of our moms out there. They are amazing. And my mom, Monty Summers, is, you know, she's very, very special. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And I also wanted to say to all of you who have lost your moms, I know that this day can be hard as well. So my heart is with you, and I hope that you and your family find strength and comfort today and are together on a very special day. Mother's Day is one of the great days on the calendar. We get to thank our moms And I hope that our moms out there are doing what they want today. I heard Scott Jagoff say there's a thunderstorm in the forecast. So get that outdoor activity in now. Go get a walk, go enjoy the outdoors. Moms, you get today. We take care of you today. So whatever you need, we got you. We got you taken care of. This is Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. It's 10:11. We are going to talk to Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on the show. He's ready to go. He's expecting our call in just a few minutes. We do it at 10:15. And we'll talk to him about what happened. Hey, look at this. Can you believe this? The Cardinals are catching some breaks. They're getting a little luck going their way, are they? Oh, my gosh, what has happened? I mean, they're not throwing a parade down Market Street just yet. And they're 10 games under 500, let's remember. But the Cardinals have won 5 of 6, starting to pick it up a little bit, got a little pitching going, got a little offense going, got a little luck going. And baseball, things do normalize and start to turn. Also, this guy who wears number 28, he's pretty good. And when he starts to heat up, things change a little bit around here. And the Cardinals, I know they pulled those rabbits out of the hat on Friday and Saturday, but let's remember that Nolan Arenado is heating up, and that's part of it. Another part of it is they have got a great young hitter in Nolan Gorman. They have a very, very smart player, I think, in Wilson Contreras. And I know a lot of stuff gets said and written about how the Cardinals have handled the situation and about him, but boy, he's a good player. I mean, he knows his strengths, and his strengths are to get under your skin. His strengths are to hit the ball a long way. And I think he wants very much so to make defense and calling games a strength. And we'll talk to Ollie about that, but he's been a factor in this run. This run at Wrigley and at Fenway has Wilson Contreras all over it. And I give him a ton of credit for stepping in as the DH and saying, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to be the DH. I'm going to learn. I get paid a lot of money by the Cardinals to do a job and to win games. And that's exactly what they've done. I mean, since this thing has happened over the last weekend is when the news came out that Wilson was going to take a back seat to Andrew Knizner. What has happened? The Cardinals have won games. They're on a nice little run here. So we'll see if they can keep it up. The good news is the NL Central has fallen back to them a little bit. The Pittsburgh Pirates, as we anticipated, are falling back to earth. And the Milwaukee Brewers are fine, but they're holding steady, and they've got to come to St. Louis this week. So you got to keep the pedal down if you're the Cardinals. You cannot let up. Got to get a little run going. We said 16 out of 20 would get them back into the conversation if they could go on a tear like that. They're on their way. They've won 5 of 6. So let's see if they can keep it rolling. It's a long, long season. It looked desperate. It looked bleak. I don't know that anybody called it, but it sure was. There were a lot of people very close. Now here they are, way out of it. Don't make any mistake about it. I mean, they got to go on a serious tear to get back into this, but there are good signs coming. Don't get too excited. Just enjoy each day, and we'll see what happens. Ollie Marmol, the Cardinals manager, is next. We'll run through the highlights with him. We'll get his commentary. We'll ask him some questions about the club as they go for a sweep tonight against the Boston Red Sox. John Mozeliak, an hour plus from now at 11:30. Lutz Vandensteel, sporting director of St. Louis City SC, will be with us in 1 hour at 11:15. We'll talk about NASCAR and other things that are happening in the St. Louis area within the next month. That's coming up next on KMOX.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is Flea for This Little Light, a podcast about falling in love with music. I started a nonprofit music school about 20 years ago called the Silver Lake Conservatory of Music. The reason that I started doing this podcast was music education. I'll be speaking with Rick Rubin, Thundercat, Stuart Copeland, Margot Price, Corey Henry, Cynthia Erivo, Sheila E., and Patty Smith.
Please listen and follow This Little Light, a presentation of Cadence 13 on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know how you said it never gets cold around here anymore?
You did. I don't remember being colder.
Which is why I'm calling Jerry Kelly this second to schedule an AC tune-up.
It's not even springy outside.
So we do it today, Cub Scout, before every Tom, Dick, and Barry get ahead of us in line.
Or Tim, Nick, and Barry. I see your point, Doctor, especially this year with shortages, work outages, lines,
Let's call the Eagle Scout of ACs.
The Titan of tune-up.
The legend.
JerryKelly.com. Can you imagine a magical world
filled with elves and fairies
and pixies and sprites
whose only job is to make people happy?
They want to see you smile
and laugh
and sing
and dance a little.
These magical beings will suddenly appear
when you call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
And then you'll look at babies and smile.
And tell delivery people to have a wonderful day.
And wave at your neighbors whenever you see them.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Great to be along with you with our producer, Drew Young. Tom Ackerman with you. Scott Jagow will have the news at the top of the hour. We go 2 hours, Sports on a Sunday morning, sponsored by Gray Bar, and we usually lead into Cardinal baseball. We got a little ways to wait for that as we have a night game tonight from Fenway Park. As John Rennie would say, tonight is the game of the world. Everybody will be watching. Cardinals and Red Sox, two of the great historic franchises, and joining us is the manager of the Cardinals, Ollie Marmol. Good morning, Ollie. How are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. How are you?
Doing great. Before I get into your winning, what is it like to be at Fenway Park? What are your impressions of one of the great ballparks? And actually, before that, Wrigley Field. That's kind of a neat little 1-2 punch you were able to do this week.
No doubt. Both of them extremely historic and fun to play at. Boston is actually one of my favorite cities to come to when we're on the road, and I love Fenway. My wife and I were able to live here for 2 off seasons, and this is a fun park to play in.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Your wife, Amber, a big part of your life, no question, on a daily basis. Moms are amazing, aren't they, what they do for the kids? I mean, what a day this is to celebrate her as well.
Absolutely. And her and the kids are able to be here. They made the Chicago and Boston trip, so I get to spend a little bit of time with them before heading to the field. But I could tell you this, wouldn't be able to do this without her and what she does for the little ones. I'll tell you that.
Amen to that. No doubt about it. Boston fans are good too. I know that they have some edge and all that stuff, but they know the game. They know baseball. And anytime I've been there with the Cardinals, they are very respectful of our history. They understand our team, and sometimes they surprise me how well they know our team. They're good.
No, I agree with that, and that's what makes it fun because they do get after it. They're pretty relentless in innings 1 all the way through 9, but it's a fun place to come in and play, and we've been playing good baseball, which makes it even better.
No doubt. They took an early lead on a Devers RBI single in the first. Steven Matz, though, just overall, how did you feel like he responded to that?
Tom, I thought he was better. If you looked at his outing, he commanded the fastball well. He pitched off of it. Secondary stuff was a little better. And at the end of the day, the ball to left that cost him 2 runs, you eliminate that, and it's a pretty good outing.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, I thought he was pretty good too. And there is some improvement there. I guess going back to Sunday as well. I mean, how would you pair up Sunday in that game against the Tigers and then this game?
Yeah, I thought there was improvements in his secondary stuff. He's been mostly a 2-pitch guy for the majority of his outings due to that curveball not being where it needs to be. And that's what his bullpen sessions in between outings have been really focused on, is just being able to get that third pitch because it's a big player for him in order to keep guys off balance with that and the changeup. He used it a little bit yesterday. He felt a little better about it, but there's still some work to be done.
And then Riff Snyder doubled on a fly ball to center. That scored 2. It was 3-0. But as you said, Matz was able to recover. He goes 5 1/3. He scatters 8 hits, but he gives up 3 runs, walks just 1, strikes out 4. Cardinals turn it over to Drew Verhagen. He's got some stuff. That guy. He had a pitch the other day where I audibly said, "Wow!" It was a bender that I think caught the outside corner, if you remember.
Yeah, he's got some pitchability, man. Just the Arsenal's pitches. There's certain nights where it looks like a video game. He can just do whatever he wants with baseball, and it's moving all over the place. So yeah, he came in yesterday, did a really nice job.
He did. And on the other side, Chris Sale. I mean, I know that we don't talk about the opposing pitcher all that much unless they really sparkle. He was really something. I mean, and I thought like just rearing back and letting it go, just letting it all go yesterday. He was pretty special, wasn't he, Sale?
Yeah, he did a really nice job. And you don't face him often. That arm angle is tough, and it's tough on righties, and it's definitely tough on lefties. But he did a really nice job establishing his fastball. We got some guys looking in, and overall, it was a tough at bat.
He threw 110 pitches yesterday as the Cardinals were down 3-0 until the top of the 7th. Nobody on. Nolan Arenado.
Next delivery is hit hard to left field. That's deep. It's high, and it's gone into the monster seats in left center field. And Nolan Arenado has homered again. Big fly Arenado, his 5th of the season. And it's 3-1 Boston.
Boy, when he hits them, they go. And the day before that, 4 for 5. Nolan Arenado, Oliver Marmol, starting to heat up.
He is, and it's a lot of fun. I'll tell you that. This is a big part of our lineup. And when he gets hot and gets going, it gives the rest of the guys confidence. And they build off of that, and it's contagious. So seeing him do what he's doing right now, it could get a whole lot of fun.
Cardinals trail 3-1 at that point. They're not able to add on in that 7th. It's a 3-1 ball game, though, as Verhagen, as we mentioned, worked that bottom of the 7th. Sale worked the 8th. Bottom of the 8th was handled by Andre Palante, and he's been called up and has been put in a very important role. What did you think of him?
That was a big part of that game. Andre being able to go out there, there's some lefties coming up in that lineup, and his ability to navigate them and keep the score to what it was, keep us within 2. We were hoping to, worst case scenario, they use Jansen again and he's down tonight, or they use Jansen and we can get him again. And it was great because we got him again.
So Paul Goldschmidt facing Jansen in the top of the 9th walks, and then this.
Goldschmidt takes a lead. He's running a big jump. The pitch low for a ball and a steal without a throw.
I mean, he's such a good base runner. What is the situation there from your perspective in the dugout as Goldschmidt swipes another bag? He's got the longest run in Major League Baseball now, 28 steals without being caught.
Yeah, we knew we could take that bag and stay out of a double play, give ourselves more chances to be able to drive the baseball and score some runs. So we took it early.
I said in the last segment before you came on that Wilson Contreras, for as much has been said and written about him over the last week, he is a smart player. He gets out there, he knows his strengths, and he was able to, or how would you see this? I saw him, he was able to get Jansen off his game, and he actually ended up committing 2 pitch timer violations and ends up walking, Ollie.
Yeah, there's games within the game, and Wilson is good at that. At the end of the day, he has up to 8 seconds to get in the box, and he made sure he used every second appropriately, and it worked to his advantage yesterday. It worked to our advantage.
It's been no secret that he's been a big part of this run that the Cardinals have been on this week, taking 2 out of 3 at Wrigley, and now the first 2 at Fenway Park.
Doubt.
No question about it. Nolan Arenado pops out first and second. You call for a pinch hitter. His name is Nolan Gorman.
Goldschmidt at second, Contreras at first. The pitch. A swing, and the ball is hit toward right center field. It's in the gap and going to the wall. Here comes 1 run. Here comes another no. The stop sign goes up as the throw is relayed to the plate that would have retired Contreras.
but it's a double for Gorman, making it a one-run game.
I thought that Contreras might be sent there, but boy, they got that ball in fast, didn't they, Ollie?
No, they really did. That relay was quick. I thought Pop made a really good decision there. He would have been out at the plate.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Brendan Donovan comes up. So the situation now is you have runners at second and third for Donovan. You pinch hit for Carlson, and you bring in Donovan. They intentionally walk him, and that sets up Alec Burleson. Here comes another pinch hitter. It's Burleson in for DeYoung. You go for the lefty against the righty, Jansen, and here's what happened.
Looking to get the ball in the air, the pitch. A swing, and the ball is hit slowly toward the second baseman. Flip to second out. On to first. Safe! The ball gets away. Here comes another run. The ball got away, and the run scores.
And the Cardinals take the lead 4-3. Look at this. Things are starting to go the Cardinals' way. A little luck turns their way this time, and the Cardinals have a lead. So much going on right there. Before I say anything, how would you describe what happened on that play?
Yeah, on anything hit the second base, if you look at Pop, he's telling Donovan, hey, don't let him tag you for an easy out and throw over. And as soon as he read that chopper was taking him into the line, he stops, kind of stays in the thrower's way, and ducks at the last minute. And thankfully, ball gets thrown in the dirt. Turner can't scoop it, and we get 2 runs.
You did, and you take a lead 4-3. Nootbaar, fielder's choice. He's out, he reaches, but the runner is out. Burleson's ended up out. And so the Cardinals get out of that, but they have a 4-3 lead. And then the 9th inning, here comes Burleson again. What a monster play this is. So you have defensive switches all over the place. You got a shortstop now for Edman. You have second base now for Gorman, right? Yep. You got Donovan out and right. You put Burleson in left. You move Nootbaar to center. So everybody's moving around. Giovanni Gallegos is pitching. He gets the ground out. And then this happens.
The 1-1 pitch. There's a line drive left field, and it is caught. A slide by Alec Burleson, and he's able to hold on.
Oh, my goodness. What a catch. What a play. There's 2 away. Tell me about Burleson as a defensive player and what he's worked on.
He's working at it. This is a guy that could play a little bit of the outfield, some first base, and he knows his strength is in the box, and he's going to go out there every day and work at it. If you watch him during BP, he's relentless about getting with Willie and making sure that he's prepared for any situation out there. So credit to him. He comes in and makes a really, really nice play.
Sure did. 2 outs, not out of the woods yet. It's Reese McGuire. You know, he's going to try to hit this ball out of the ballpark and tie this ball game. And the pitcher is Gio.
From the belt, the pitch on the way. A swing and a ground ball to Arenado. He has it. He throws to first. That's a Redbird winner. The Redbirds scored 3 in the 9th for the second consecutive game and turned back the Red Sox, and the Cardinals have a series win in Boston, going for the sweep tomorrow.
Cardinals get the job done. Gio gets the job done. I've talked to you about this before. You have stuck with your right-hander in high leverage situations. Why wouldn't you? He's been in that situation before, even though he's had some bumps in the road. He looks to have smoothed things out, hasn't he?
Absolutely. And we're going to continue to do that. This is a guy that doesn't make the moment any bigger than it is. Helsley threw 2 innings the night before. He was down, and Gio takes that closer spot when Helsley's unavailable, and does a really nice job yesterday.
How has Gio done with the pitch timer and the rules and the change in the game?
He's actually done really well. When you think about the offseason, that was our biggest concern because he was one of the slowest pitchers in between pitches in all of baseball, but it has not affected him. He's done a really nice job of not getting called on violations. So it's been positive.
And the Cardinals pick up another win. They go for the sweep tonight, 6-10 start. Miles Michaelis will be pitching for St. Louis. And on the other side, the Red Sox will be throwing another good one out there. It'll be Kluber. It really comes down to how do the Cardinals perform offensively, of course, but you can't be fooled by his 6.29 ERA, can you?
No, this is a guy. He's been in the league for a while, and we know what he's capable of doing on a night that he's on. Our guys and our staff is prepped for it, and we're looking forward to the night. This would be a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just taking a look at what's coming as well. You got the Brewers on Monday. My understanding is that Wilson is going to be back behind the plate. Will that happen on Monday?
Yep, Monday you'll see Jack and Wilson together, and we're really looking forward to it. This will be Wilson's first day back behind the plate, and it's positive.
What has been the week like as we spend just a couple more minutes here with Ollie Marmol, just that week with Wilson and kind of getting him back to where you want him to be? Can you go into some sort of detail without giving away too much, of course, to the other side, but just sort of how that has been?
Yeah, I can give you a little bit. The reality is what we know internally and what's out there aren't exactly the same. And if you look at the investment that we've made over the next several years with Wilson, taking a 2-week pause means nothing in the grand scheme of things. But it was extremely important for several reasons to take a pause. And we use these last 10, 12 days appropriately to make sure that moving forward, we're all on the same page, and this is something that ended up being a big positive for our clubhouse. So we're looking forward to him being back behind the plate with Jack on Monday.
And has Andrew Kisner taken that well? I mean, he kind of took that job and ran with it this last week, didn't he?
Yeah, and the reality is his kids will still catch. There'll be opportunities for both, and kids did an amazing job. He was able to catch every day. He got behind there. He did a really nice job with our pitchers and started to swing the bat, the best we've seen. He did a really, really nice job. And to his credit, he's a guy that stays ready regardless, and he was able to take that opportunity and run with it.
You know, people might ask, well, why didn't what was noticed in spring training? It's just, it happens. It is a progression, isn't it, throughout the season? I mean, you could look back and say, when did we first notice that Wilson Contreras and the Cardinals weren't on the same page? You got to be able to work together to see what you see, I would imagine, for a little while.
Yeah, and quite honestly, that's an unfair statement. And if you look at some of the things that spring training is meant for, it's very different than when you're in a high stake environment. It's actually completely different. And Wilson spent a lot of time mechanically working on his framing and getting certain things tightened up there. And he did a really nice job with that, to his credit. And a lot of the pitchers, when Wilson stayed back, went to the WBC. So there was a very limited time for him to get to know those guys and really familiarize himself with them. So the reality is this: we took a 2-week pause in our clubhouse, and for this team, it was a huge positive, and we would do it all over again. So we feel good about Wilson being behind the plate on Monday, and Jack's looking forward to it. Well,
and it's a results-oriented business, and what has happened in the last week? Cardinals have gone 5-1. So here they are, taking on the Red Sox today. Thank you for all of that. In that situation, we always appreciate what you do for us here on KMOX, making yourself available on these Sundays and Wednesdays for that matter. And all the best today. Best to your family, too. Give Amber our best on this Mother's Day.
Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you.
Absolutely. Ollie Marmol with us on KMOX. It is 10:34. It is sports on a Sunday morning. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, more from the Cardinals' victory yesterday and Friday. They are starting to get a little buzz going. Now, they're 10 games under 500. There is work to be done, but the Cardinals are showing some signs of life. No question about it. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more baseball coverage right after this on KMOX.
Energy prices are skyrocketing. Regardless of what you believe is the reason for the skyrocketing prices, it doesn't matter. What does matter, it's crushing us. It's taking money off of all of our tables for food, clothing, entertainment. Life is tough. I'm not looking for anything for free, but this is crazy stuff. Now, that being said, do not overspend on so-called high efficient, energy efficient, or whatever the terminology, anything efficient. Nothing we make, nothing that we have to offer will combat these insane prices. So if you're in the market and your bills are just extremely high because they're failing, call me. It's one easy number. It's in Missouri and Illinois. There's only one number. Missouri and Illinois. It's 314-293-2600. Bart Inman, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com.
Hey, it's Debbie in Monterey. Have you noticed that for sale signs in your neighborhood have been up for longer than normal? Why? Well, they probably don't have my friend and trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty's name on them, because agent selection matters. And that's why I recommend you call Gloria Liu. I've been telling you about Gloria for years now, and you should call Gloria before you list your home. Gloria has the buyers. More than 2,400 exclusive buyers in her database looking for a home in your neighborhood. Gloria sells twice as fast and for 5% more money on average when compared to other agents. With Gloria, you sell faster and for more money. And Gloria will guarantee upfront in writing that she'll sell your home at your price and your time frame, or she will buy your home herself. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
KMOX Enter Service Weekend, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. May is National Bike Month, so use your bike instead of your car or for a little bit of exercise. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
The King of Ragtime celebrates his queen. This spring, immerse yourself in a forgotten jewel of American artistry with the opera Tremonisha. Opening May 20th at Opera Theater of St. Louis. Embark on a life-affirming journey of love and creativity in this rarely seen masterpiece by Scott Joplin, the famed composer and St. Louis resident who is best known for the Maple Leaf Rag and The Entertainer. As Joplin celebrates his wedding to his new bride, Freddie Alexander, he is inspired to write a masterpiece with Freddie as his muse. His heroine will be called Tremonisha, and she will lead her community into a bright, bountiful future of education, opportunity, and prosperity. Joplin's music merges African-American folk traditions with classical music, creating a unique masterpiece. Their result is a joyous and sublime testament to the power of love. Don't miss this rare opportunity to witness Scott Joplin's Tremonisha and be a part of the story. Tickets start at just $25. Learn more at experienceopera.org.
The U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America is bringing you free concerts May 22nd, 24th, and 26th, showcasing patriotic music plus Broadway tunes and more. Get free tickets and locations at afbandtix.com. That's afbandtix.com.
MSD Project Clear encourages residents and businesses to know your zone and protect your property. If it rains where you live, it can flood where you live. Spring weather can bring an increased risk of flooding. Consider your risk and the consequences of a flood event. Make the choice to protect your property. Did you know the average flood damage claim for homeowners and renters exceeds $35,000 in damage? Learn more about how to protect your property at www.knowourzone.org.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Your BMW is worth more than ever before, so don't trust your maintenance to a bunch of amateurs. Come see the factory-trained technicians at Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or at newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Let's be honest, shopping for insurance is a pain in the you-know-what. I'm Zach Gibson, owner of Zachary Gibson Insurance Agency. Let my agency shop for you. As an independent insurance agent, I can shop numerous insurance companies to help design a plan at the best possible price to help you with your home, auto, life, health, and business insurance. Contact me at zachgibsoninsurance.com. That's ZACGibsoninsurance.com. You can also call 314-210-3649 and let me shop for you.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
All right, great to hear from Oliver Marmol, the Cardinals manager, in our last segment. If you want to go back and listen to that, we basically went through the game yesterday and touched on a lot of different players and situations that the Cardinals are dealing with, including Wilson Contreras. The Cardinals with the win, 4-3, puts them into a position to win another series. They have done that. Now they can sweep a series for the first time, and they are 10 games under 500. That doesn't sound very good, but if you look at the division, they're 7.5 out. How is that possible? Well, the Brewers have won 4 out of their last 10. They have won back-to-back to keep the Cardinals at bay. They're 22-17, 5 games over 500. But you can, in this game, catch up in a hurry if the Cardinals string together wins. Do you need to hurry on May 14th? I say you do. You got to keep it pedal moving here. You pedal down. You got to keep moving. The Pirates have fallen back to earth. They've lost 4 in a row. They are 21-19. The Cardinals are 6 games behind them. The Cubs are a game under 500 now after losing 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, and they just lost their last game. They are 3 games back in the division. The Reds are 3 games under 500. Cardinals are 3.5 behind the Reds, who are 4 out. Reds actually have won 3 in a row. So it's not the greatest division, but somebody is going to go on a tear, and it needs to be the Cardinals, and you cannot let it be the Brewers. And, oh, look who's coming into town tomorrow, the Milwaukee Brewers. It will be Jack Flaherty, as Ollie told us, with Wilson Contreras behind the plate. It's a big game. It's a big game for both. Jack, in case you didn't hear, was none too pleased. In fact, let's play that right now just to kind of get that out of the way, because I did want to talk about Jack. Let me see if I can find that. Jack Flaherty was not too pleased with a question about his pitching, and now, of course, I lose it just as I had it in front of me. I'll get it for you, but Flaherty is 2-4 with a 6.18 ERA. I mean, Jack is very important to this team's success. And I think we said that from the very beginning. If the Cardinals' rotation was going to be as is, with no additions, Adam Wainwright coming back for a final season, he missed the start of the year. Jake Woodford took his place. Matz and Montgomery were back on the left side, and Michaelis was back on the right side. That meant you had to have somebody emerge as an ace, and the best candidate for that was Jack. And Jack has not been able to come through there. Now, the last time he was paired with Contreras, he got blown up for 10 runs. The last time that he pitched, it was an outing that, he was better, and he did induce some ground ball double plays, but he still walked too many. And his last time out was, issuing walks, 5 of them, to go along with 3 strikeouts in 5 innings. Too many. And that was at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. He did not get a decision there. He lost that game against the Angels. Ugly numbers, 2 1/3, 10 runs on 9 hits. So Flaherty has got to find, he threw 93 pitches, by the way, in that last outing in 5. And he has to find a way to be more efficient, throw that curveball for a strike. The slider, he's got to be able to land. Fastball, this is where he bristled a little bit when he was asked by Jim Hayes of Bally Sports Midwest, and also Derek Gould was in on that conversation, about his fastball. Here it is. This is Jack Flaherty discussing things with Jim Hayes.
Yeah, you got to make pitches when you need to. Did a better job of that today than I did last time.
The velocity on your fastball was down.
The next time somebody wants to mention the velocity of my fastball, I'm not going to answer another question about, I'm going to play with the velocity of my fastball based on what the game calls for. So I can get outs at 90, I can get outs at 95. I'm going to play with it. I've always played with it. I've thrown freaking fastballs at 87 before in games when I've been at my best. I'm not answering questions on, no. I'm just saying, because y'all want to make a big deal out of it, and I'm tired of it. It's so ridiculous. I'm going to go for what the game calls for, and that's part of pitching. So if you want to ask about it, you don't understand the art of pitching. I'm going to go with what the situation calls for, what the game calls for. But you have to manage pitch counts. You have to manage the way that the game goes. There's certain times where you up it, and you're gonna start seeing 4, 5, 6, and there's certain times you might be able to be like, okay, here, situation calls for it, you bump it back up. It's the way the game goes. So that's the way that you go about the game.
We don't know that unless we ask, Jack. We don't know.
Well, then you don't understand pitching, and that's okay.
You want to say that again?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. You said I don't understand pitching.
That's the way that
we just don't feel like we should guess. We want your answer so we can quote you and give it to the fans.
Okay, Derek. Whatever you say.
For the record, I asked that because in the broadcast they were saying there are times when a pitcher will throw at a certain velocity with the fastball for certain reason. They were discussing it. That's why I asked.
I appreciate it, Jim. I appreciate it. Yeah. You just play with it the way that the game goes. There's certain times you up your velocity, and there's certain times that you can play with it. If you got enough feel for it, you can play for it with it. kind of like certain situations there. You go ahead and pitch around certain guys. I mean, I've been dinged up by lefties all year, so I'm going to pitch them a little bit tougher in a day like today to maybe get to that righty in some of those situations. Yeah.
You've gotten more double plays than anybody in the National League. You have 3 more tonight. How valuable is it to be able to throw a ground ball when you need it to get out of the jam?
It's pitching. You got to make pitches when you need to. When you make pitches, good things happen. Didn't do a good job of that last time.
John Denton of MLB.com with that last one. Jack going after Jim Hayes of Bally Sports Midwest and Derek Gould of the Post-Dispatch. And look, this is not, I mean, Flaherty wears his heart on his sleeve. He says what he feels. He's been doing this his entire career. This is not a personal attack on Jim or Derek. He has a lot of respect for those guys. I know that. I've seen this a million times, having covered the Cardinals since 1997. When beat writers, and especially someone who's there all the time like Derek, and Jim Hayes, Bally Sports Midwest, is there every day asking questions, it gets to be frustrating. It's not their fault. But when you see the same people every day and you have to answer what you feel are the same questions or differently worded or whatever, things come out like, well, then you don't know pitching. I don't see that out of Jack. Like, he really believes that Derek Gould doesn't know baseball. I mean, give me a break. Of course he does. But it's just, he's saying just in general, people wouldn't understand or know pitching like I do. So we're going to have to take Jack at his word that that's what's going on here, that he's dropping his velocity on his fastball to certain hitters to throw them off. Change speeds, change location, change this, change that to keep hitters off balance. Totally get it. But if it's going to be, just so you know, everybody's going to be watching the fastball now. And they're going to see if that fastball doesn't get to a certain level, they're going to wonder, is there some issue? Is there something wrong there? Or if he does get the fastball riding up, then people will be like, oh, well, then, yeah, he's dropping it down to 87 and he's going up to 95 or whatever the case may be. Just saying, we all understand what pitching is. Those guys have a little more information than we have about the hitters, about the situation, about health, et cetera, everything. So that's what I always understand. This is not, I'm going to give Jack the benefit of the doubt. He is not somebody that's frustration. Look, Adam Wainwright snapped at John Denton. I mean, Adam Wainwright's one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. And so is John, by the way. And it just happens. Heat of the moment, games get lost. Wainwright turned around and said, I took pride. I took pride. Why are you using past tense? Don't put me in the grave. John's not a bad person. He's not trying to throw him under the bus, and neither is Adam. This is just heat of the moment. These guys are playing in a different world than we are here. High stakes, lots of money at stake. Major League Baseball, the show, Wrigley Field, Fenway Park, Busch Stadium. There's a lot on the line, and sometimes things come out that they don't necessarily mean. When we come back, it's something a little more positive, and that would be the nice reaction from yesterday's game. A terrific win for the Cardinals. We'll go back to that next on KMOX.
Carol Daniel for the Beam Central Vacuum System, giving you convenience, power, and clean air in your home. I know all this time we have spent at home the last couple of years left us looking at our homes a bit differently. Maybe you got work done, bought new furniture, but did you clear the air? You can with the Beam built-in vacuum system. So easy to use. The power unit is built in, so no more lugging of a heavy unit from room to room. You just plug the hose into the wall and go. The Beam is more powerful than an ordinary vacuum, and more power means it sucks more dirt out of your house or condo. And if you have dust-related allergies, you do need a Beam. Research shows use of a central vacuum system improves indoor air quality by over 50%. We're spending more time at home. Maybe you're even working remotely. Clear the air with the easy-to-install and easy-to-use Beam Central Vacuum System. Beam Central Vacuum System owners in the St. Louis region call it Beam Clean because no other vacuum can do what a Beam does. And you can learn more and get your Beam installed at beamstl.com. That's beamstl.com.
Beam's home sale is starting early. Every system for every size home now on sale.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa. And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I what makes Melinda so good. That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor. Melinda's is proud to be the official hot sauce of the AT&T Byron Nelson. We make 32 craft pepper sauces that are thicker, hotter, and better. Find them in a grocery store near you at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. The physicians at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Underlaw, we take on the establishment and challenge corporations to be better for the safety of our community.
Call Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 6189 million.
What a beautiful spring. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma from Gamma Tree Experts. Your property value is as much about your landscape as it is your home. The trees and shrubs that grow along with you and your family are valuable assets that deserve care and protection. Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your valuable trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, fertilization, or removal, call today at 725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Too many businesses sell for far less than they should. Clayton Capital Partners is one of the nation's top independent investment banking firms for the middle market, representing clients nationwide in multiple industries. Our process is designed to uncover and make the most of your company's competitive advantage. Create a sales strategy that highlights your company's value to potential buyers and identify outrageous buyers who will pay a premium for your business. All owners will exit their business. Make sure it is on your terms. ClaytonCapitalPartners.com.
Call Midwestern Pest Control, your pest prevention expert since 1962, to keep your home safe from termites, ants, spiders, and other pests ready to invade your home. Call 314-838-1121. I called Midwestern Pest Control to get rid of ants in my kitchen. Now they come to keep them out. Call Midwestern Pest Control to protect your home or business now. 314-838-1121. 314-838-1121.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive.
He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Goldschmidt at second, Contreras at first. The pitch. A swing and the ball is hit toward right center field. It's in the gap and going to the wall. Here comes one run. Here comes another no. The stop sign goes up as the throw is relayed to the plate.
Contreras stops at third on the play, and then this.
Looking to get the ball in the air. The pitch. A swing, and the ball is hit slowly toward the second baseman. Flip to second out. On to first. Safe! The ball gets away. Here comes another run. The ball got away, and the run scores.
That run, Nolan Gorman, after Contreras scores 2 runs on the play. Cardinals win the game 4-3. What a win. Contreras really contributing to that with 2 pitch timer violations on Kenley Jansen to take first base with the walk, and he scores. Here he is, Bally Sports Midwest.
This road trip has been good on us. We've been giving it all, like from pitch 1 to last pitch, and those are the results.
With the walk you drew, it looked like the pitch clock and everything. It looked like you were getting in his head a little bit.
Well, that's that's what the pitch clock allowed you to do. I mean, I know that some closers, they like to get the rhythm, but my job as batter is to not get into that rhythm. So I was letting the clock come all the way down to 8. It's not my fault. It's something that I use for me, in my favor and no favor for the team, and it works out today.
You've told us you don't care if the other team doesn't like you. You're playing to win, right?
Yeah, there's nothing against them. I just feel like I had to take advantage of the clock a little better, especially in those kind of situations. We were looking to create a rally and not hit a ground ball. I mean, it's been struggle since last night, throwing strikes, so I was just getting on his chest a little bit and nothing disrespectful.
Yeah, but it was within the rules. I mean,
yeah.
The rules. But did you see he was having a tough time deal with it?
I know. That's why so he did it the first time, and I got it like in my head. I said he's gonna do it again, so I'll just wait for it. And then the first time he did it, it was ball 1, and then he threw me 2 balls, and then he did it in 3-1 count. So that was good for us.
Yes, it was, as the Cardinals get the win 4-3. Contreras, a big factor all week. And hats off to him, an upbeat attitude after being removed as catcher. He will be back in there on Monday. More from Contreras coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, as well as Lutz Pfannenstiel, the sporting director for City, John Mozeliak, the president of baseball operations for the Cardinals, and Chris Blair, general manager, Worldwide Technology Raceway, all next hour on KMOX.
Over 30 years ago, it was that can-do spirit which helped the founder of Reinhold Flooring start the business, installing Reinhold quality carpet and beautiful flooring himself. Now, Reinhold Flooring is still family-owned and operated and winning St. Louis Magazine's best flooring store 2 years in a row. With Reinhold Flooring, it's not about the sale, it's about the amazing floor to perfectly match your house and your life. Customer-driven since day one. Visit ReinholdFlooring.com. With so many ideas you can do it with a can-do crew at Reinhold Flooring. ReinholdFlooring.com.
Gas Appliance Service has just made getting your new gas, charcoal, or pellet grill easier than ever. Gas Appliance Service by Westport and Fireplace and Grill Center in Manchester not only offers an amazing selection of top name brands, they offer you professional installation and stand by their product warranties. Those big box stores don't even compare. Stop by or shop online at gasapplianceservice.net. Just click for your estimate and get grilling at gasapplianceservice.net.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braylon, Braden.
Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals.
Hey, sweetie, are you hungry?
She needs more early childhood educators.
Did your sock slip off again?
And a nap.
Hey there, little guy. Okay. Shh. Whoa.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff. Yeah.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here it goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Christopher Cruz in the Washington Bureau. The expiration of a pandemic-era border restriction has not led to a surge of migrants as many had expected.
The end of Title 42 has led to new rules for asylum seekers at the southern border. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas tells CNN the migrants are still coming, but in smaller numbers.
I think approximately 6,300 on Friday and about 4,200 yesterday by the United States Border Patrol. And we saw over 10,000 before the end of Title 42.
The new rules require asylum seekers to apply for asylum at U.S. processing centers in host countries before they try to cross into the United States. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Congressional staff have been meeting to try to reach an agreement to raise the country's debt limit. Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo on CNN.
So the conversations are constructive between all of the parties. I know the president looks forward to getting together with the leaders to talk about how we continue to make progress.
President Biden is scheduled to meet again with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy this week. It's really hot in the Pacific Northwest and will stay that way through tomorrow. Portland Dr. Ann Loeffler says it's too early for this.
The temperatures we're looking at, they're not that high compared to what we've experienced, for example, last summer, but it's the middle of May. People's body are not yet acclimatized to this kind of temperature.
She says some of the symptoms of heat exhaustion to look out for include excessive sweating, increased body temperature, nausea, and dizziness. Polls are now closed in Turkey, where the increasingly authoritarian President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is facing his strongest challenge since he began leading the nation 20 years ago.
There's no tolerance for any sort of criticism right now. We're going through troubled times. I feel anxious because I could be arrested tomorrow.
I'm all for democracy and its principles. I will respect whoever wins.
If no candidate wins a majority, there will be a runoff in 2 weeks. A ceasefire between Israel and the Islamic Jihad that went into effect late last night seems to be holding. More from the BBC's David Harper.
Israel's military has said it will partially reopen 2 crossing points into the territory, as well as a crucial fishing zone off the coast. The US has welcomed the ceasefire and praised Cairo for brokering it.
What do you like about your mom? CBS's Stacey Lynn asked a few kids.
She's like a friend, but someone who always stay by you. Well, she's nice, she's funny, she's very kind.
85-year-old Katie Castagnoli on Friday became the oldest graduate ever from Virginia Tech. She was awarded a bachelor's degree in music. She says she's going to finish her degree in Italian next. This is CBS News.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Awarded 2023 Large Market Radio Station of the Year by the Missouri Broadcasters Association, KMOX.
At 11:03, we have partly cloudy skies, 79 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story, the National Weather Service has the greater St. Louis region in a marginal to slight risk category for severe storms later today. Looks like the threat of hail and strong gusting winds could be from about 2 until 8. Looking back to yesterday, some motorists found themselves caught in traffic due to flooding. The fire department reported multiple vehicles were stranded in standing water at North Kings Highway and Berkshire. The Ethical Society of Police released a statement late Saturday. It's about the failure of the Missouri Senate to address who should control the St. Louis Police Department.
It reads in part that the society feels, despite the inaction in Jefferson City, issues within the department and for its officers are being heard and taken more seriously now. Society leaders say at no point did they disrespect nor insult the current administration. Their stance is simply about management. Society leaders felt their appeals and issues were not of concern or importance. Civilian employees who consist of city marshals, dispatchers, park rangers, and SLMPD staff still have not reached any type of salary negotiations, they say. The society's hope is city leaders will focus their energy on addressing serious concerns with real change. Brad Choate, KMOX News.
Due to the threat of thunderstorms, there's an update to the schedule for the Scott Air Force Base show today. The Navy Blue Angels performance has been moved up to until noon. The opening ceremony is already underway. The St. Louis Wheel at Union Station is offering a free ride to all mothers today. General Manager Karen Wilder says the Ferris wheel has a different look depending on if it's night or day.
Once our sun comes out, of course, then they'll be a little bit dimmer. But then when the lights come out on tonight, if Mom wants to see the lights in all of their full show.
The free ride for mothers is with a paid child or adult admission ticket. The wheel's open till 10. This afternoon, as we said, possibility of some strong storms in the slight category, a temperature of 86 this afternoon. Tomorrow looks lovely with a high of 70, mid-70s on Tuesday and Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sun, and 80 degrees. Right now, we have 80 in St. Peter's and Florissant, 79 downtown. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. Cardinal baseball coming to you tonight at 6:10 from Fenway Park. John Rooney and Ricky Horton will have the call. Scott Warman will have your pregame at 5:15 as the Cardinals take on the Red Sox. Wilson Contreras, a big factor yesterday. We heard from him at the tail end of last hour. Let's hear the rest of that on Bally Sports Midwest.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's huge, especially against Jansen. We all know him. Great career as a closer. Hopefully he's a Hall of Famer, and we respect them. We respect him. But we did our job last night and today, not giving up and playing to the last out.
How about a guy like Gorman, pinch hitting situation last night, coming through, and then also today?
That's hard to do. Especially against a closer like Jansen. I mean. He got into a fastball count, and he got fastball again, and so he was able to hit the ball hard, and we are happy that he's doing it.
Pretty good birthday present for you.
Yes, of course, especially after the game. We all came here. We talked a little bit, and the energy around here is way better than before.
Birthday boy Wilson Contreras with another win. The Cardinals have won back-to-back games in Boston, and they go for a series win, sweep, I should say. They've already won the series. On Friday, Wilson did this.
Winkowski's pitch is swung on, and that's hit deep. Right center field. It's a gunner. A home run for Contreras. And the Cardinals are down by a run.
And just remember now, a lot of talk about Wilson Contreras, and he continues to hit. He continues to make plays on the base paths. He is a very good baseball player. And if he can learn how to do what the Cardinals want him to do behind the plate, and he is continuing to show very much a positive reaction to that, the Cardinals are going to go places here. They got a long way to go. They're 10 games under 500, but winning 5 of 6, which they have done, certainly will help. And it will also help to get after the Milwaukee Brewers, who come into town later today for the game tomorrow against the Cardinals. Brewers did win yesterday. They beat the Royals 4-3, so the Cardinals remain 7.5 games behind them in the NL Central. Christian Yelich had 2 home runs. You do not want him to start heating up. One of the best players in the game several years ago has really cooled off. And if he starts to get hot, Milwaukee could be pretty good. They beat Kansas City, a team that is not very good. The Royals have really fallen off here. They're 12-29. They actually are below the Cardinals in terms of standing with a winning percentage of .293. The Cardinals sitting in there with a winning percentage of .375. They'll be playing the Royals later this month at Busch Stadium. They'll be playing on Memorial Day. Meantime, the Pittsburgh Pirates have fallen off. They have really fallen off. They lost to the Orioles 2-0 yesterday. Just couldn't get anything going. They are slumping big time. They've lost 9 of their last 10. The Twins clobbered the Cubs 11-1. The Cubs are a team that is struggling a little bit as well. And then you have the Cincinnati Reds. They're actually the hottest team in the division. They have won 3 in a row, as the Reds won yesterday 6-5 over the Marlins. Jake Fraley hit his 3rd home run in 2 days as Cincinnati went on to victory. So that's a look at the National League Central. The other teams leading the way right now, the Braves have the best record in the National League. They're 25-14, even though they've lost 3 in a row. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Phillies in the NL East. NL East is a mess behind the Braves. The Phillies are a 500 club, and they've won 4 in a row to get to 500. They were just 4 games under 500. They've now vaulted themselves into second place because the Mets are stalling. They're a game under 500. The Mets, who spent like $6 trillion on their payroll, are a game under 500. The Marlins are just a half game behind them, and the Nationals bringing up the rear in the East. National League West, Dodgers, cream rises to the top. They are the best team in that division. They're 10 games over 500. They've won 4 in a row. They're really good. I mean, there's not much you're going to be able to do about that. The Dodgers are a pretty complete team. They have a 3.5 game lead in the West. Arizona has fallen back a bit. They are the second place team. And then the Padres, there's another question. How in the heck are they where they are? 2 games under 500? I mean, didn't they spend, if the Mets spent $6 trillion, I think the Padres spent about $4 trillion on their payroll. They're 2 games under. Giants are 4 games under 500, and the Rockies bring up the rear in that NL West. So the National League is still top heavy with the Braves and the Dodgers, but the other teams are kind of struggling to gain traction. And if you're the Cardinals, you just have to worry about yourself, get yourself right, and see if you can get back into the race. But you got to get above 500, and it's a long climb. There's no doubt. But when you win 5 of 6 like they just did, that certainly can move things along pretty quickly. And they, again, have a chance here with their schedule coming. The Brewers are in for 3 games, and then the aforementioned Dodgers, which could be a problem if you let it. They play 4 games in St. Louis, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's just a must to protect home field and find a way to beat LA and win that series. Then you go to Cincinnati and you play 4 there. Then you go to Cleveland and you play 3 there before the Royals wrap up the month. Cleveland is in second place in the AL Central, but they're 3 games under 500. They're 18 and 21. So again, a lot of teams scuffling here. There are some teams that eventually will fall back to earth, and the Pirates are one of those who did. Got to let the season play out. Cardinals dug themselves an enormous hole, but it's not like it hasn't been done before. The 05 Astros were terrible to start the year, and then they closed out Busch Stadium too by winning the pennant. The Nationals, not long ago in 2019, they were 19 and 31 to start the year. Really bad. And they turned it around, swept the Cardinals in the playoffs, and won the World Series. Can it be done? Yes. Is it hard? Absolutely yes. But we'll see if the Cardinals make adjustments along the way, maybe tweak the roster with some moves if they have to. But for right now, they are where they are, and they're running pretty well as they can try to get a sweep tonight against the Red Sox. When we come back, we switch our attention to soccer. St. Louis City SC. We'll break it down with Lutz Pfannenstiel as the team lost yesterday 1-0 in Chicago and awaiting Sporting KC. There's a little bad blood going on there. We'll tell you about it next on KMOX.
McKelvey Homes was founded in 1898. This year, we are celebrating our 125th anniversary by giving $12,500 of free options on all homes sold through the end of June. And we will also make a donation of $1,898 to the Independence Center for every home sold. Visit McKelveyHomes.com for our current locations and to learn more information about McKelvey Homes. That's McKelveyHomes.com.
When you have electrical needs, whether it's an emergency or a planned upgrade or a planned inspection, call on Reinhold Electric because they answer their phone 24 hours a day. And with this combination of responsiveness of the staff and the experience and efficiency of the field workers, that provides you, the customer, with the best project experience or emergency service available in the Midwest. Put Reinhold Electric's number in your contacts, 314-631-1158. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor. Melinda's is proud to be the official hot sauce of the AT&T Byron Nelson. We make 32 craft pepper sauces that are thicker, hotter, and better. Find them in a grocery store near you at melindas.com. That's MELINDAS.com. Melindas.com.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey for my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, with some exciting updates for serious home sellers. Gloria Liu understands that every seller situation is different. For some sellers, a 24-hour cash offer solution is a great option to consider. Gloria's 24-hour cash offer solution is for sellers who want no risk, no open houses, don't want to make costly repairs, and want to pick their own closing date. If that sounds like you, call Gloria Liu for a no-obligation 24-hour cash offer. You will have exclusive access to her group of cash buyers who bid against each other in what Gloria calls her cash offer bid box, giving you the best cash offer. These are cash buyers in waiting willing to pay 100% or more of market value. Call Gloria Liu at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Great to have you back on the show. We're joined by St. Louis City SC sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel on this beautiful Sunday morning in downtown. Good morning, Lutz.
Good morning, Tom.
Well, City drops one yesterday, 1-0 to Chicago Fire. In fact, that's 2 losses to Chicago in 1 week. The U.S. Open Cup earlier, and then different situation in Major League Soccer on Saturday. How would you view yesterday's game, and what was the contributing factor to not being able to come through?
Yeah, it was a rough week after not being able to finish the game in Dallas. Of course, was not a perfect start, and playing the Open Cup game where we had quite a big rotation in the team, and it didn't go our way. But we knew, we need to focus on the league, and then. Yesterday, let's be fair, it was a disappointing result, and I think we all know that we can do, and we also should do better than that. But if you sum it up, we got beaten by a set piece goal. We couldn't score, and that's one of the biggest problems. If you do not really create a lot of chances, then you struggle to score, and that was the story of the game yesterday. It was Chicago was well organized defensively. They didn't really give us much, and that one moment where we lost the focus at that set piece, we got punished straight away, and then it was chasing time, and as you said, we couldn't break through. So overall, I think Chicago deserves that win, and we know we need to improve if we want to get back onto the successful road, and if we want to beat Kansas on the weekend, we need to step up.
Yeah, playing Kansas City on Saturday will be a big one for St. Louis sports fans. There's sort of a natural rivalry there with our cross-state town over there in Kansas City. As for Chicago, there's been a long rivalry there, but I don't see it like Kansas City for a variety of reasons. But at any rate, Chicago sort of let you in a couple of times, right? I mean, there were some turnovers there. You just didn't capitalize on them, as you described. You came out great in the first half, came out really great in the second half, just weren't able to score. Is it, look, I'm not going to point at the Klaus injury because that is one factor, but is it overall that very thing, not being able to capitalize on another team's mistakes? Is it that simple?
Yeah, I mean, you have perfectly a good reason to mention Klaus. I mean, we know that he's a player. It's not easy to replace. That like lots of teams in the league who have some of the top players being injured. It has obviously an impact on the results, but that's something we need to deal with. And we played games also in preseason without Klaus, and we scored some goals. So that is for me not a valid excuse to put everything on the shoulders of one player. So it's not like that easy peasy. Klaus walks back in and suddenly the goals are flying in left, right, and center. It's not. If that would be the easy solution, I would take that one. But Tom, unfortunately, as you know, in professional sports, it's not always as straightforward. We had this very good opportunity in the first half where we caught them on the counter attack, and Indy passed the ball in the middle, and Chalkini couldn't get in the end of it. I mean, that was a big opportunity. But then again, we have the ifs and the whens and the buts. If it would have gone in, but it didn't. And it's just about to realize what we can do better. It's to realize how to be more dangerous in the final third. I think that is what we have to work on. And Chicago didn't make it very easy because they did defend well. They have a very strong physical back line, and we just didn't find the right solutions yesterday.
Your back line was pretty good, wasn't it? Didn't you think?
It was decent. I mean, in the end of the day, I still believe that Roman Bürki was yesterday our top performer. Now, if I'm honest to you, as me as a former goalkeeper, look at it a little bit different. If our goalkeeper is the top performer, then we did give defensively a little bit too much away. I think that also was yesterday where he kept us early on in the game with two really good saves. Second half was different. I don't think we gave that much away anymore, but overall, it's a very simple wisdom. You need to score goals to win a game, and we didn't do that yesterday. So that's why we ended up empty-handed.
John Nelson received a red card in this game. What did you think of that moment and how that affected play?
Yeah, I mean, we looked with 10 men. We still try to push forward, which is also a good sign for the character of the team. It was a tactical foul, the second yellow card. So from a set piece, Chicago started a counter attack. Johnny pulled the break there to break play, and yes, it was a second yellow card. That means it's red, so there is no discussions, I think, about that one. The first yellow card was more a foul of frustration after we conceded the goal. So overall, I don't think there is anything we can complain about. That the red card was absolutely right. Was the right decision by the referee, and we still tried our best after that. But obviously, playing with 10 men against 11 makes it more difficult. It gives us even less room to play, and it definitely wasn't. It did have a negative impact on the play, of course.
A notable thing in this game, among others, is the fact that you had another homegrown player playing in this game, and that's Caden Glover. He is 16 years old. He is the first player born in 2007 to make his MLS debut. That is amazing, Lutz. Tell us about Caden Glover.
Yeah, and if obviously, you can look at this game yesterday and you find lots of things to improve on, but I think looking at that, Caden Glover came on and straight away had a good impact. He worked hard. He uses his body well. He's only 16. I mean, he signed his homegrown contract with 15. He's representing the U.S. youth national teams. He's just a very talented player, especially up there up front. So I would call it, he has all the qualities to become a mini Klaus, and maybe in a few years, like an absolute top player. So we really believe in him, and that was really good news to see him yesterday on the field, to get his first minute in the MLS, and I think that's a very good moment for the club and a very proud moment for Caden and his family.
Glover is joining now Miguel Perez as two homegrown players for City, featured in the same game. First time that's happened, and it certainly won't be the last, as City loses this one 1-0 Chicago Fire. Lutz, can you kind of paint the picture of what it looks like inside your building when you are adjusting to the next match? You're getting ready for Kansas City, but you're also reviewing what happened against Chicago. I'd have to imagine that you have every angle of every video available. It has to be really something what these teams break down. Do you break into separate groups and analyze the video? Is it done as an entire group? How does that work with Bradley Carnell and his staff?
That works. I mean, it's really it's a science, because everything is broken down by different stats, by different numbers, by different parts of the team, defensively, attackingly, and that also happens, of course, how you scout or how you analyze your opponent. And I think it's very important that is the perfect preparation to know what the other team is supposed to do. But then, when Saturday comes, Tom, then all the numbers and all the statistics, they are still there. But sometimes you cannot just calculate everything up. And then it comes down to the heart, it comes down to the emotion, it comes down to the willingness and to the desire to win the game. So this is even more important than all the numbers. So this is the homework we do all the time. And then we have to really, really put all these things together. One other thing I just have to mention today is I was really impressed with the support we got yesterday. I mean, so many people from St. Louis traveling up to Chicago, supporting us, and I felt really terrible for them to drive 5 hours to watch the game, and then coming back home not with the result we all wanted. But the support was amazing. It felt partly like a home game. There was so much City Red, not just in our supporter section, but all over the stadium. So really, really big thank you for everybody who invested the time and the support they gave us yesterday.
Very cool. It's really great to hear. And yes, get used to that. They are really something. It's interesting that you mentioned that everything is analyzed by stats. You literally can analyze every step that these players take. But as you said, you can't monitor sometimes what's inside a heart or the head of a player. And you want everybody on the same page, and your team is moving in the right direction. I'm certain of that. And the heart of these fans is special. They will take it up another notch on Saturday just to get everybody ready. I know that you're ready for this, Lutz, but they will take it up another notch. There is something about Kansas City, and I think it is the success of that MLS team. It is as much as, the spice that will be in this on Saturday from the fans. There is a level of respect. They have won a lot over in Kansas City, haven't they, through the years? St. Louis is ready to take over and show why they've been around in this game for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the tradition, also, MLS history, I think Kansas is one of these teams. They've always been around, they're usually doing quite well. It's one of the teams who've done everything, literally won everything. But they had a terrible start into the season, and just in time, right for us. They won last week in Seattle. They won yesterday against Minnesota. So they're bouncing back. They have some of the VPs who were injured for a long time got back into the game now. So, it's not like 5 weeks ago everybody would have said, well, that will be a game where St. Louis gets in as the big favorite. The tables have turned a little bit, to be honest, though, because I think they are now showing what they're capable of. It's definitely not a bad team if they have everybody available. And it's up to us to, we want to be. We played them so many times in the youth. We played them so many times now also with the next pro, and we always looked good against Kansas City. We beat them yesterday in the U17 4-0 in Baltimore at the big tournament again. So even the young guys know exactly it's a special game against Sporting Kansas. That's what I think we have to tune up this week to get mentally ready for that game. It's on paper, it's just any other. An MLS game for 3 points, far away ahead of once you're getting into the playoffs. But this is a game of the emotion. This is a game that everybody, I think, in St. Louis was waiting for the last 30 years. So let's just get out there and get them and work our asses off and be ready and try our best and represent the city.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I know that. And people will be ready to go on Saturday to see City take on Sporting KC. Lutz, thank you so much for the time. We always appreciate these Sundays.
Thank you, Tom.
Lutz Pfannenstiel with us at 11:29. John Mozeliak is next.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
"Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis."
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM. a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Join the thousands of St. Louisans who donate to Ronald McDonald House Charities of St. Louis. Your donation will assist families in staying together during medical emergencies. Donate today at rmhcstl.com.
Listen now to PNC C-Speak, the language of executives. William Caniano, NGA West executive of the $2 billion headquarters expansion, takes us inside the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. He says there is a naturally collaborative nature in St. Louis, and that has led to the project's success. C-Speak shares the stories and innovative approaches of successful business leaders to spark ideas and growth in your business. Listen today at KMOX.com/PNC C-Speak. PNC C-Speak, the language of executives.
KMOX at your service weekend, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed and we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said, call Jerry Kelly, man, JerryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late, JerryKelly.com. Cause Jerry Kelly's always open up until 8. They're certified technicians, I've been told. Will help you when it's hot and help you when it's cold. JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
Hey guys, Glover here, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Bertie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
I just noted there's some flowers here in the office, in this studio. That's very good. Nice festive day here, Mother's Day in St. Louis. Welcome back to the show. It's 11:32. John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations, is with us. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in your life, John. I know that they play a huge part, not only in your family, but throughout the Cardinals family. Think about how important they've been to all of your players and people.
No, I think anybody who reflects back to their childhood, to maybe their early adult life, to their marriage, and of course, as mothers to their children, clearly, they have a huge impact. And I think sometimes in the world of sports, we forget about how that the mom typically ran little guys to the ballpark to play, stayed late, make sure everybody was fed. And, I think everybody is always grateful for just to say thank you to their mother, regardless of it's Mother's Day or not. But obviously a special day for all the mothers today, and I wish them all a happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, they play a big part in everything that goes on, that's for sure. The Cardinals pick up another win yesterday. Look at this, John Mozeliak. Things are starting to bounce the Cardinals' way a little bit. It was a matter of time before things started to shift a little bit. It felt like there was a lot of hard luck going against the Birds. It was like every way you could lose it, you did. Now, a couple of wins in Boston come from behind have been a lot of fun, haven't they?
It's been a good week. Obviously, I think when you look at the different ways we've been able to win in terms of scoring runs, starting pitching, giving us a chance to be in games, and bullpen being strong. So all these things are critical to winning. Obviously, the first month of the season did not go as we had hoped. But the good news about baseball is seasons are long. And so we have a lot of time to get to where we hope we can get to. And obviously the last week or so has been a lot better baseball, more fun to watch, and certainly putting a lot more smiles on one's faces.
That was a pretty wild ninth inning yesterday. So many things happening aside from the big hits. I mean, Gorman's hit was enormous, obviously, and Arenado hit one over the monster. He's starting to warm up. But gosh, those little things in there, the back and forth between Contreras and Jansen, the base running by Donovan. baseball is filled with little things that add up, don't they?
Well, I think you've heard me say before, if you don't do little things, you're never going to do big things. And so understanding the nuances of a baseball game, especially at the highest level, you have to get those things right. And, like a lot of people were commenting on Donovan to me, and, but that's just smart. Don't run into attack. Just pull up. If they touch the bag, you're out. But if they chase you, then even better. And obviously it worked out. Things sped up on them, and we were able to score an additional run. But, the game is moving a lot quicker than I think people realize, and to see like these heads up plays and these smart plays, it's great to see, because obviously, the first month of the season, we weren't seeing all of those little things being done right.
It is moving fast. There's no question about it. Cardinals get the win yesterday, and it does go back to Contreras and everything that has happened there, because you did want to make an adjustment. You want to make sure that the team is not in any way, shape, or form disconnected. And if you could get Contreras back to where you wanted to be, that was a mission. And here he is. The understanding is he's going to catch Flaherty tomorrow. Is that along the line that you thought it was going to go in terms of time for him?
Honestly, I didn't know what it was going to look like. I think like a lot of people made a lot to do of this, and I'm not exactly sure why, other than maybe they felt like, trying to make us look bad or feel bad about it. I don't know. But like, to me, it's like, talking with Ollie and the coaches, the most important thing is to get it right. And so if we have to take a pause or a timeout, admit that there are some things that need to be done differently, I think, that transparency and honesty is fine. But, it certainly was a rough week for everybody involved in terms of the public side of things. I think from the baseball side of things, we definitely feel like he's ready to take those next steps. And, honestly, when you look at somebody like him, who's, uber athletic and a very much an offensive player, but he takes a lot of pride in his defense. And so, he certainly wants to get back in there. And I think from a coaching standpoint, they're going to make some adjustments on how things work. But, ultimately, he'll be back behind the plate on Monday. And hopefully he and Jack can connect and have a really good game.
Yeah, I think the point is made and was back in spring training that he opted not to go to the World Baseball Classic and stay and work. Ollie just made the point last hour for anybody who suggests, and I have seen this, that, how come this wasn't detected in spring training, et cetera. He said, well, that's unfair because, one, he wasn't able to work with all the pitchers that were in the World Baseball Classic. But the point he made before that was, in the middle of a regular season and spring training are completely different in terms of high leverage, high adrenaline, tough situations. Would you agree with that?
Oh, of course. Obviously, like Ollie and I talk about this stuff every day, and clearly trying to compare spring training to regular season is just not fair. And the ebb and flow of what happens in a game is just a lot different. So, I think you try to use spring training as really a preparation and get yourself so like you're physically ready to go play. But there's a lot of differences in how you strategically go. In other words, in spring training, you're not game planning. In regular season, you are. And, there's a big difference there.
The Cardinals also receiving good starts back-to-back from Steven Matz. Good in that they are improvements from what you saw, but you are seeing a stability out of him that you didn't see early in the year. Is that fair for Matz?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd all agree it's a bit of a head scratcher, because when you look at his stuff and what's coming out of his hand, you're kind of amazed you're not seeing like more success. So it is encouraging what we've seen out of his last couple starts, which is good. Obviously, he was a very talented pitcher who had a lot of success in Toronto that year. And, from just a pure stuff standpoint, he should be good. And so I think he's starting to have confidence in himself. I think he's building off of that, and I think that's good news for us.
The Cardinals getting Matz going on Sunday against the Tigers. That was a big start for him. He got through that. And now the one against the Red Sox. We've talked a lot about Wainwright. I think we all know who Adam is and what he's capable of as he continues to work. Jordan Montgomery, Miles Michaelis certainly is a capable pitcher. It brings us back to Jack Flaherty. Expectations were, where do you think for Flaherty for 2023? And what have you evaluated from him so far as another big start? They all are. It arrives for him tomorrow.
Yeah, for me, the biggest thing is I think like the ability to control the strike zone. I find that his pitch count's getting up really high. He has at least one inning where he finds himself, in that 30 pitch realm in just an inning, and I think that's really affecting his ability to go long. And the question is why? And I think like if you're not controlling your fastball and able to use it to either get ahead or even put someone away, then it takes a little bit of your secondary pitches become a little bit less valuable. And so he's going to have to find that combination where he can get in the strike zone and get that put away pitch and be more efficient. And if he's able to do that, then I think, there are brighter days ahead, but that's something we have to see.
Few quick questions for you before we go on what's happening in the minor leagues. Matthew Liberatore, is he continuing on the same good path from your estimation? And how is Zach Thompson as he begins to stretch out to be a starter?
Yeah, start with Libby. It's been really positive. He's doing well, and a lot of people are pounding my inbox on the fact that like why aren't we seeing him? And maybe at some point we will, because he is throwing well, and that's great to see. And then in terms of Zach, he's made a couple appearances. Certainly, I think we have to be patient with that stretch process, but we're going to give him that opportunity, and I think he's excited about that.
How is Jordan Walker doing, Mo?
I think Jordan is realizing what it's like to be Jordan Walker. In other words, he's a high-profile player. I think he's getting pitched to really hard, and those adjustments are part of your growing process. So, the feedback I'm getting from coaches and whatnot are encouraging, but, ultimately this is a game of performance. So, you got to start putting up those types of numbers that, as baseball people, you realize are making that type of impact. So for him, these adjustments he's working on, I know he wants to see better results. And I think that part of it is just going to take a little time.
We'll continue to keep an eye on it. We know that you will. John Mozeliak joins us every Sunday on KMOX. Thank you for this very much, and all the best to you today.
All right, thanks, Tommy. See you at the ballpark.
See you soon. John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations on KMOX. It's 11:43. The general manager of Worldwide Technology Raceway, Chris Blair. He's busy too. Big event coming. Big. June 2nd through the 4th. We'll tell you all about it next.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, so why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Dierbergs.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no obligation consultation today. SidingExpress.com.
The king of ragtime celebrates his queen. This spring, immerse yourself in a forgotten jewel of American artistry with the opera Tremonisha. Opening May 20th at Opera Theater of St. Louis. Embark on a life-affirming journey of love and creativity in this rarely seen masterpiece by Scott Joplin, the famed composer and St. Louis resident who is best known for the Maple Leaf Rag and the Entertainer. As Joplin celebrates his wedding to his new bride, Freddie Alexander. He is inspired to write a masterpiece with Freddie as his muse. His heroine will be called Tremonisha, and she will lead her community into a bright, bountiful future of education, opportunity, and prosperity. Joplin's music merges African American folk traditions with classical music, creating a unique masterpiece. Their result is a joyous and sublime testament to the power of love. Don't miss this rare opportunity to witness Scott Joplin's Tremonisha and be a part of the story. Tickets start at just $25. Learn more at experienceopera.org.
Now, Y98 presents 90 in 60, a look back at the St. Louis City match against the Chicago Fire. Presented by Ponce Health Sciences University, creating new pathways and careers in healthcare.
Stone Jimenez finds a friend, shot from the top corner of the 18, falls back to Kamara. Oh, Roman Berkey, a huge kick save. Lubin gets ahead to it, pokes it to the edge of the box. Pompeu pulls it back against the defender. He's back, top of the box. Lubin curls a shot. It's just high. Struck by Shaqiri, curl to the back post, sliding and flicking it in. Chicago takes a lead on a gorgeous finish from Chivas. That'll take us to the final whistle. City Falls 1-0.
This has been 90 in 60, presented by Ponce Health Sciences University. Up next, St. Louis City returns to City Park Saturday to take on Sporting KC. Pre-game at 8, kickoff 8:30 on Y98 St. Louis.
Aspiring to be a doctor? Didn't score well in the MCAT? Gain all the confidence you need to succeed at Ponce Health Sciences University. PHSU west of City Park on the corner of Jefferson and Market prepares students for every aspect of a medical career. A Master of Sciences in Medical Science degree and MSMS from Ponce prepares students for the coursework, the time commitment, and the rigor for a future in healthcare. Learn more at stlouis.psm.edu. That's stlouis.psm.edu.
You know, one of the best things about retirement is all the great senior discounts you'll be getting. But you know who won't be giving you a senior discount? The tax man. With the way Washington works, you might even be in a higher tax bracket in retirement than you are right now. That's why it's so important to have a good tax strategy. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group, they can help you design that strategy. Mark your calendars for an exclusive educational workshop focusing on taxes in retirement on Tuesday, June 6th or Thursday, June 8th. These events are complimentary, but you must qualify to attend. Call 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services are offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. BWA and All Financial Group, LLC are independent of each other. Insurance and annuity products are offered through Stephen All, Missouri license number 803-9738.
Broadcasting from the Underline Tree Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
It's the return of Live Nation Concert Week.
Are you ready to have a good time?
Tickets to shows like Matchbox 20, Sam Hunt, Kids Bop, Pentatonics, Charlie Puth, Goo Goo Dolls, Thomas Rhett, Alicia Keys, and so many more. Available at $25 all in.
Thank you very much.
Get ready for concert season in St. Louis and take advantage of seeing some great shows for only $25. For tickets to purchase and to see all participating shows, just head to livenation.com/Concert Week.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When companies decide to take shortcuts, the safety of our families are at risk. At Underlaw, we find and expose those shortcuts.
Call Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9 million.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Furnish hope right here in St. Louis. Donate your unneeded furniture and household goods to Home Sweet Home. Visit www.homesweethomestl.org to learn more.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. Huge event coming to St. Louis June 2nd through the 4th. It is at Worldwide Technology Raceway. It is a NASCAR Cup Series. The Enjoy Illinois 300, presented by Ticket Smarter, is going to be the event. It was last year, and here we go again this year. Tom Ackerman with you, Sports on a Sunday morning, sponsored by Gray Bar. As I've mentioned before, I am in a partnership with the racetrack. Curtis Francois and our guest, General Manager Chris Blair, brought me in to talk about the race and help them out through the last couple of years. Isn't that right, Chris? We've had some fun bringing it to town, and now here we go again. It's right upon us.
Yeah, 3 weeks, 2 hours, and 40 minutes. I think I have about 3 hours, 2 weeks there. 3 weeks, 2 hours, and 45 minutes or so of work to do. But yeah, green flag it's coming up quick. So It's hard to believe it's been a year, but the great news is we had a great event last year, and we're all pumped up. It's going to be even better this year.
Chris, when is the first time that you came face-to-face with the NASCAR Cup Series, and what was your impression back then?
First time in person was in 1987. I was just telling the story a little earlier today of over at Bristol Motor Speedway. Took all the money that I had in my pockets to have enough to buy a T-shirt and a really good seat, and rode out a rainstorm where I had to wrap myself in garbage bags halfway through the race while they were on a rain delay. But I got to see Dale Earnhardt take the win, and Richard Petty finished second that day. It was absolutely incredible. That was my first live event. But, from as a kid, growing up, I was just fixated with the sport. And, for me, here I am all these years later, and I still get to play with race cars for a living. So I consider myself pretty lucky.
Yeah, it is pretty great. When you saw everything on the track, let's go to Saturday, actually. What was the anticipation the day before the race when those drivers finally got on the track to get around and then qualify?
Well, Tom, that's the thing about it. We know our racetrack and we know what it can do, but until we actually saw those cars on the track to really get the feel for how the new Cup car would perform on our racetrack, no one really had any idea. And I had some drivers telling me they thought it would be great. Others were a little bit concerned, but it all went fantastic. And when all was said and done, it was one of the better races of the season from start to finish. So that was a tremendous relief for us when we finally got to see what the new car could do on our racetrack.
I've been asked what is the difference between last year and this year. I would say an enhanced fan experience, and probably for the drivers too, to understand behind the scenes, the flow for them and everything, although they were raving about everything that happened internally. But fans won't be able to see that or experience that as much as the drivers will, but they'll be pretty close. I mean, that's the one thing about NASCAR is you can actually get to the garage and see participants right before they go out and during the race.
Well, the steps we've taken this year, Curtis Francois, the track owner, committed to doing a huge build out of the overall fan experience. So as we like to say, it's a 360-degree experience because you can go in there into the garage area, get right up close and personal where the teams will be working on the cars, and then you can just take a few steps and you're right behind pit road so you can watch the teams in action when they're performing the pit stops. So, I consider that like going on the bench at a Blues game or sitting in the dugout with the Cardinals to be able to get that close and personal with everything going on. And then in addition to that, the whole experience is based on celebrating NASCAR's 75th anniversary. So we've brought in the NASCAR fan zone that's going to be down there in the infield. The Enterprise is sponsoring it for us this year. And it is absolutely amazing with driving simulators, video games, all kinds of historical pieces, race cars that will fire up inside that area for the fans to get involved with. So that's just a whole other element. If you think about some of the fan fests you've seen at the Winter Classic or at the All-Star Major League Baseball All-Star game, it's like that concept but in a racing format. And it's all right there in the center of everything that's going on racing weekend.
Joey Logano is the defending champion, and I asked him recently in an interview, he came over to Ballpark Village, and I said, sell the fan who has not been to NASCAR what this is like and why they should be there. And he said, there's not much selling really. He's like, it kind of sells itself. He said 40 cars going 170 miles an hour together blowing by you is something you just can't experience anywhere else. That's pretty well said, I think.
Well, and that's one of the things about our track too, is it's not a cookie cutter by any means. There's no other track like our track with the shape. And for a lot of these racers, they're still trying to figure it out. I think that's one of the reasons you'll see that the guys who have competed in the truck series at our track in the past, such as the Ross Chastains, Christopher Bells, Bubba Wallaces, they all have a little bit of an advantage over some of the guys who've never been there before, because it does take a while to figure it out. But now this year, a lot of the drivers will already have some data from last year, and they're going to be a little more familiar with the track. So we anticipate that the racing will be even better, which that was the great thing about last year's race is it was a fantastic race that went to overtime, and Joey Logano throwing a slide job on Kyle Busch on that restart. That, those are the kind of things we can do everything we possibly can to get ready for the race. But when it all boils down to it, it's the drivers and the cars that put on the show. So we just have to make sure they deliver a great race, and they did last year. So it kind of stands on its own that when you come to our racetrack, Worldwide Technology Raceway, you're going to see great racing.
About a minute left, but after Logano won, it was not over because Old Dominion fired up their guitars and percussion and got going with a great concert just in there inside turns 1 and 2. And this time you'll have Dierks Bentley closing things out. Before that, Florida. You've got Bailey Zimmerman. You have a number of others, Brothers Osborne, and you have JJK with her 5K. You got a lot of stuff going on.
We sure do. And that's one of the things we want to remind everybody that is included as part of your race ticket. So there's no add-ons to that. So when you buy the race ticket, you're getting full access to the concert, everything else that we have going on. It's all inclusive. There's no tricks to this. You get to see the concert and the race, and it offers something for everybody.
It sold out last year, so don't let this happen to you. Like I started getting calls on Friday, Saturday asking where they can get tickets, and I said they're gone. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So, best way to get tickets, and do you still have hospitality available or straight tickets? What's the situation?
We still do have some Turn 4 hospitality availability. If fans want to buy those, that is still available. Still lots of we're still selling the infield fan experience. That's available. But and there's some good seats still to be had. But like I said, telling everybody, get your tickets this week because it's going to be getting tougher and tougher as it moves along.
No doubt. As soon as we get to Memorial Day, it's going to be over. I mean, once the race fans they figure that out. Chris, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
And Tom, don't forget www.raceway.com to get those tickets. So let's have them. Go get them today. All right?
Absolutely. Let's get it. Chris Blair, this has been Sports on a Sunday Morning.
Has anyone seen Roger? Where's Roger? It's time to open the jewelry store.
Where is everyone?
Did they all take the day off?
At traditional jewelry stores everywhere, employees are quiet quitting and going to Diamonds Direct, not just to work, but to shop.